Ira. My screen is kind of blue-ray. My husband's going to clean it for me right quick. Clean from the other side. But yeah. Go ahead. We get ready to start here in a few minutes, y'all. Sorry for the delay. Okay, there we go. Y'all can see me? Okay. If y'all can hear me, somebody give me some thumbs up, some hey girl, hays, whatever. But anyway, we're going to get started here in a few minutes. Baby, you want to close the door? And then... Okay, hold on 1 second, y'all. We're going to get started here in a minute.
Y'all ready?
Yep. Yeah, we ready.
My fine corn.
Hey, Miss Mac. Hey, Rufus. How y'all doing? Hey, Jamal. How y'all doing? We ready to get started. All right, how y'all doing this evening? I know it's late. I know y'all probably trying to get ready for bed, but hold on 1 minute. Wait. We just have something we want to say. We got an hour to say it, and we're going to do it to it. We are so glad to be amongst you guys once again. Another Wednesday is always a blessing when God allow us another day, another hour, a minute, and a second. And we're so grateful and we're so excited that you are joining us tonight. And so give us some thumbs up if y'all can hear me, because I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, good. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me. Anyway, my name is Ira Warren.
And my name is Divine Warren.
And together we are as one.
Hey, hopefully everybody's having a good night, like Wifey was just saying.
Look at my husband, he all bright with the green on.
Yeah, the sun was out, so I had to get bright with it.
So
I didn't want it to beat me. I had to shine like the sun myself.
I know, that's right. Sometimes you have to shine like the sun. Sometimes you have to get out your own way, like my husband say every day. Get out your own way so God can get in the way and do what it is that he needs to do with our lives.
No doubt.
Again, I'm excited. So my husband is going to give us the topic, and then we're going to get right into it, okay?
Tonight's topic is be careful how you treat people.
Ooh.
You know, and I picked this topic for a couple of reasons. I know when people first heard the topic, they probably are really thinking that it's about other people, but it's also about you.
Yourself, right.
It's about yourself as well, because the best person that we could be good to is to ourselves.
Right.
Because in order to be good to others, we have to, like I always say, you have to be able to love yourself first so you be able to pass it on. And with that being said, we have to, I just want to say this. People don't understand how powerful the things are that we say to ourselves.
Right.
You know, words have within them the power of life and death.
Yes, and it's biblical too, y'all.
Words, let me say that one more time. Words have the power of life and death within them. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. You know, when you tell yourself certain stuff, you can defeat your own purpose before you even step into it. Just based on the things that you tell yourself. If you're all caught up in doubt, fear, you have that all tangled in, and then on top of that, you might have like your self-esteem might be low, and then you start telling yourself negative stuff like, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do this. It starts to creep in, and then it starts to take effect of your whole life. So then you start to look up and you start to say, well, why isn't anything happening or going the way that I want them to go? It's probably because of what you said to yourself. Because the words that we use and think dictate our vibration. Right. It dictates the way that we feel. So if you want to feel better about yourself, if you want your vibration to be on a higher frequency, if you want to live a better life, if you want to have a better outcome mentally before things happen and physically in your life, watch what you say to yourself.
Yeah, that is so true, sweetie. I know I used to struggle with just having that self-worth. And I know as women, sometimes we may struggle with that. Not all of us, but I know I struggle with who I was, why am I here? I just had a whole lot of questions. But then I had to go back to my maker. And what the word of God says, greater is he that is in me, 1 John 4:4, than he who is in the world. And then I began to think about that. I was like, wow, God lives within me. And that's powerful in itself. And so it should be easy for you to move your pride, your ego, and your wants and your needs and all of that out of the way. And then you exchange his thoughts for, his thoughts your thoughts, and his ways and make them your ways. Because it's so hard to have this landscape of what you want and what you want to be and what you want to become. But you have to move yourself out of the way. And I think a lot of times we go through so many things in our life, and we have a tendency to let what has happened define who we are. So then we shape who we are by what has happened. So what we have to do is we have to erase that, or just simply rip that page of your life out and learn from it and move on to a clean slate and say, who am I? I have to do affirmations. When I wake up in the morning, my affirmation is, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am the head and not the tail. I'm above and not beneath. You know, so I have to say those things to myself, because I kid y'all not, every time we have a topic, it's either I have already been tested or I'm going through the test. And it's just
somebody we know is going
or
through
somebody
it.
we know is going through the test. So, and it's so true. We have to be careful how we treat people, but it starts with us first.
Oh, no doubt.
And I know it's a song that came out some time ago. It says treat them. It says, I'm changing it up. It says treat him like he wants to be treated. You should treat him right, but you need to treat yourself right. Like I said, I think a lot of times it starts with that self-worth and knowing whose we are, because a lot of times we don't know who we are. So we look for people to give us that validation, and we look for people to tell us that we can do all things, and we look for people to we try to impress people to get them to tell us what we want to hear. And then it makes it difficult when people do come into our space or come into our lives and we build relationships. We don't know how to treat them because we don't even know how to treat ourselves. That's hard.
That's definitely important. Look, wifey said something really important, and if it went past anybody, God is within you.
Right. He's within.
What I mean? So if the God, whoever you choose to call God, because we have people on here from different religions, whoever you choose to call God, if that power is within you, we make the decision to act ungodly. Or let's just say, let me put it this way. We make the decision to turn our back. We make the decision to deviate from what we should be doing. It's all up to us. And our character comes from our thoughts. So if you're putting negative thoughts and keeping negative thoughts in your mind, more than likely, your character is going to follow that direction, because that's what you're feeding it. And that's in the direction that is going to pull you. You know, I have an important quote, and it's real simple. It says, our lives is what our thoughts make it. And that's by this guy named James Allen. I'll read it one more time. Our lives is what our thoughts make it. So if our life is what our thoughts make it, and if we're trying to be better people, if we're trying to live a particular way, positive, if we're trying to stay in tune with the God of our understanding, if we're trying to help others, how should we be thinking? It wouldn't be beneficial for us to think negative, because it wouldn't take us in the direction that we're trying to go if we're trying to remain positive.
Right.
You know, and then wifey was also talking about how people do certain things so that people could give them back those affirmations that they want. But sometimes people can pick up on that, and they'll do that just because they know that's what you're seeking.
Right.
You know, it's not necessarily because that's what they want to do. They just do it because they feel like, well, maybe if I do this, I could get on their better side, or they could get something from you, or whatever the case may be. So you got to watch out for that too. How we see ourselves is based on how emotionally stable we are. How we see ourselves. It deals with the stability. It deals with our emotion. It deals with our awareness. It deals with where we are mentally in our lives at that particular time. And the funny thing, people don't realize, if you're in a, like, I'm going to just pick Kanye. If you get into a state that your emotions is all over the place, all people have to do is really just sit back and watch you, and they could pick up on it. And usually, if you're in an unstable place and you're feeling less than about yourself, you're going to look at people in that same light.
Right.
So if you're trying to remain positive, help people move forward in a good direction, then you should be telling yourself positive thoughts. You know, what you put out there is what you get back. And right now I'm talking about, like I said, when people probably first read this topic, they probably thought that I was just going to talk about dealing with others. But it all starts with you. Wifey said that as well. It all starts with the way that we deal with ourselves. So what we put out there, it comes back to us. It's kind of like the boomerang effect, a.k.a. karma. You know, you put stuff in the atmosphere or you treat people particular ways, it's like a boomerang. It comes back to you. But I think some people have this misconception that if you steal $1 from somebody, it's going to come back to you, that somebody's going to steal $1 from you. No, that's not necessarily true. It could come back a whole different way. But the thing that we're trying to get across is treat people how you want to be treated. And if you treat people good, it's going to come back to you good. If you treat people in a negative manner, more than likely it's going to come back to you. It may not come back to you from that person. It may come back to you in different circumstances. But in nature, karma is alive and kicking. It will definitely come back and hit you probably when you least expect it.
That's true.
To do so.
That's true. And then we have to understand that, you know, when we speak those negative words, I can't. He always, she always, I always.
I can't.
And you just hear these, I call them killjoys. I'm sure y'all have heard that word before. And it was, I had an awesome day today. I was walking to Wawa, and there was a security man standing on the corner. He was waiting for the children to cross the street. And he spoke to everybody. He wasn't trying to hit on nobody. From what I could tell and what I was sensing with my discernment, I didn't feel like he was trying to do that. And he was like, "What's wrong with people?" And I said, "Sir, you know, when the troubles of life come, people they have tunnel vision when it comes to themselves. They're not worried about nobody but themselves." And some so people, they don't. Yeah. Now I'm not saying everybody. Let me rephrase that. I'm not saying everybody.
Wouldn't be here.
I was just saying about the people that he had come in contact with today. He said they wouldn't smile. They didn't say hello back. He said, "What? Am I doing something wrong?" I said, "No, sir. You doing what you're supposed to do." And because that's the joy and the love that you have in your heart, and you just that type of person. And he was like, "Well, I thank you." He said, "You have a beautiful smile, ma'am, and I thank you for giving me back, what I was trying to give to people, and that's love and joy." And he said, "People just don't have kindness and compassion anymore." And I said, and you know what? It's starting to become something that's rare. People, like I said, people just going through so many things that they're so focused on, this is what I'm going through. I don't feel like saying hello. I don't care about what you're trying to say right now. This is all about me. And so we have to be kind to people, because if you read in the Word of God, it says, "With love and kindness have I drawn thee." What are you drawing? So what are you drawing to yourself? Because I hear a lot of people say, "I'm always drawing people that want something from me. I'm always drawing people that got a bad attitude. I'm always drawing people, So a lot of times what we put in the ground, eventually that harvest is going to come up, and that's the harvest we're going to receive back. So we have to be careful how we treat people, because a lot of times you can say, "Well, treat people how you treat yourself." Some people treat themselves horrible. They don't take care of their bodies. They have a cuss in their throat every 5 minutes. They hate this and hate that and hate this, and they toxic people. You have to stay away from people that's toxic. They always have something negative to say. They never have anything positive to say at all. So, honey, I'm gonna let pass it.
I talk to them, and they'll be like, they'll say something like,
"Sorry about
well, I'm with somebody, and I don't really want to be with that person." So, why would people get with somebody that they really don't want to be with?
Right.
Now, if you know that you don't want to be with this particular person, or if that person isn't for you, basically you're setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
Especially if you know that going in from the door.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta turn to you.
Okay.
Especially if you know that coming in from the door. If you know that you really don't want to be with this individual, what are you actually doing?
Right.
You could just be probably there wasting time, wasting energy that, you could have put into something else.
Right.
Another thing that I tend to notice talking to people, and this isn't me just saying this is me talking to people and I'm actually hearing what they're saying to me. What happens if you find out the person that you are with isn't the person that you thought they were? Okay, so now You know, you get with this person, you find out they're not the person you thought they were, but now it's evident that they're not the person that you thought they were, and now they're treating you in a negative manner. What do you do? And I'm going to tell you, a lot of the people that I talk to, they continue to stay with that individual even though they know that that person isn't the one for them.
Right.
You know, even though they know that this person is going, you know, behind, well, some of the time it's not even behind their back. This is people I actually know. It's not even behind their back. This particular person is going out there kicking it with other people, sexing them and all that. And for real, they come back and be like, oh, you know, it's just about me and you. Some of them are married, some of them aren't.
Right.
The people that I'm talking to. But they'll come back and be like, you know, it's only about me and you. And then on the flip side, it's some of them that know and they stay there willingly and then they complain about the situation. So I'm asking those particular questions because if you know that you're putting yourself in the line of fire and you're not trying to get shot at, it's either one or two things you could do. Move out the way, remove yourself from the situation, or don't continue to let yourself become a target.
Right. Sorry about that, y'all. These phones is tripping
phone
today.
Phone went
Sorry
down
about that.
We had to go back and fix it.
And I like what my husband was saying about just how going back to how you treat other people. I've heard this a lot, even growing up and even now. People say, well, why don't you try to put yourself in someone else's shoes? I understand. But I'm the type of person, I don't want to wear someone else's shoes. But I can be empathetic to what someone may be going through. But I don't want to wear your shoes. I don't want to wear your shoes because everybody's trial is different. Everybody's trial is different. My husband's talking about, I don't want to wear your shoes because where you are and where I am, we may be two different levels. It may be two different, you know, God may be sending me this way, he may be sending you this way.
Paths.
But that doesn't mean that because we both on the road of Damascus, I'm going to kick you down. No, I'm going to help you. I'm going to see what it is that I can assist you. I'm going to see what it is I can do to be there for you. So you in how you treat people, you have to study people. Your spirit, I call them your antennas. Your spirit of discernment has to always be on point when it comes to being in the same space and building relationships with other people. You have to be very, very careful. That's true. It's good that some people, you like my grandmother say, some people you have to feed with a long handled spoon. Everybody you can't keep into your space. But I'm not saying I talked to a friend today. She was going through some things. Well, I won't say going through because she knew how to handle that situation. She went to this sister in love, and she said, Ira, I didn't come for her. I didn't cuss her out. I wasn't out of character. And I loved her for that. I loved hearing my friends say that. Because the first thing we want to do when someone does some wrong to us and the other person feels like, oh, I didn't do anything wrong, it's where your character is. Because a lot of times our character is not intact. And so we come from a fleshly standpoint. Well, I'm going to tell this person how it is. You ain't this and you ain't that. You know, so we go into this whole cussing mode telling people what they're not. So when you start telling people what they're not, guess what? That's how you feel about your own self.
Yeah, that's a reflection of
That's a reflection of who you are. So you got to be careful when you start calling people so-and-so and so-and-so-and-so's. I can't say what, but y'all get what I'm saying. We have to be careful what we say to people and our thoughts, because the first thing we do, we think. Or sometimes we don't even think. We just say it, and then we think about it later. So sometimes you have to step back, swallow a little bit deeper, breathe in, breathe out, think about what you're going to say, and then execute it, what you're going to say to that person. So in that, I have to look at myself daily. I'm going to go back to, how I treat myself. Because I know if I'm cruel to myself and I'm having a bad day and I'm just like, I don't care what nobody think, this is what it is, this is what they going to get, I don't care. And that's the same attitude I'm going to carry out into the world. And that's what people are going to see. That's the reflection of what they're going to see.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a good point. Yeah, that's definitely a reflection of you when you start talking about people in a negative manner. It's this saying that people used to say. They used to say that, and some people may still say it, They say the things that you find most problematic in others is the same thing that you are dealing with yourself.
Yeah.
That was, I remember somebody saying that years when I was a kid. They were telling me that, but it always stuck with me, and wifey just brought it back to my mind, you know, with what she was saying. And like I was saying, you know, if you put yourself in the line of fire, remove yourself. It may be time for you to invest in people who bring out the best in you. You know, be around people that's there for your best interests. Be around people who really want to see you succeed. And then keep in mind that when you deal with people, you never know who you may need in the future.
Right.
So you take advantage or disrespect or be mean to particular people, and that may be the same person that you may need to climb up in the ladder later on down the line. Or you might need that same particular person to help you financially, or however they may need to help you. But keep that in mind. Now I want to talk about different types of people. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, because I hear a lot of people throw the word around friends loosely.
Yeah.
Or not even just friends. They'll say associates loosely.
Now I want me to say, well,
so there's a couple of types of... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Yeah, there's a couple of type of people that you come in contact with. We all do in different phases of our life and on a daily basis. One is the confidant. Those are the people who are always there for you. They are the ones who are intertwined in your life.
Yes.
They feed you and nourish you. That's the confidant. And the reason why I'm saying this, because I hear a lot of people be saying, like, that's my friend, this is my friend, this is my friend. But I'm like, hold up. Then they describe the friendship, and I'm like, that sounds more like an enemy to me. That the enemy in you is allowing to enter your life and become, you know, a destructive figure in your life. So another group of people that we come across is called constituents. They are the ones that are for which you are for.
For, yeah. Well, you are for.
So that can be an idea. That could be, let's just say, it could be a particular purpose. It could be if you're a church member or a member of somewhere else. Not necessarily, they're there because of the church and they're there to get a word, you know, but not necessarily there to be your friend. But being that they're there for the same thing that you are for, you know, some of them try to make it seem like they're your friend, but they don't really have to be for you. If they could replace you, they would.
Yes, right. Okay,
now we have another group of people. This is the third one. It's called our comrades. Our comrades, they are against what you are going against. Now, I'm gonna say a particular group that used to talk about comrades back in the days, the Black Panthers. But I think some of them were more there actually for each other. But, you know, I remember this dude that I know, and he used to always be like, yo, that's my comrade, that's my comrade. And then I was like, why would you say comrade, but then you tell me I'm your friend? He's like, Devon, because you are my friend. He said, we're fighting for the same goal. We're trying to get to the same spot. We're trying to help our people, you know, get to a certain point. But some of these people don't even like me. You know, and it was about his personality and all that. I'm not going into that. But I'm just saying, so he used to call people his comrades, and people probably used to call him a comrade as well. But let me just name some of the ways you can know if somebody is really in your corner, if somebody is really for you. They should be happy for you when you accomplish things. Yes. You know that person that you have in your corner, they come out, you be like, yeah, girl, well, I accomplished this goal. They come out with the pom-poms like this.
You so sick.
Boy, no. They be pom-pomming it. You know, you're like, okay, go, Ira.
Yeah,
go,
and it's do, and I have I would say a handful of sisters that they are really, really, really happy for. And they not just saying, praise God, just to say praise God. They are really, really for me. The reason...
And a handful is a lot of people.
And how I know is because they always look out for me. If it's something that comes up, they say, you know what, that doggone Ira, she know how to do that.
And how you also know is they're not only just looking out for their interests.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know, whatever you're in. You know, they want you to accomplish things. They be like your biggest people there, the fan. They be like, come on, Ira, you can do it, you can do it. You need those kind of... Well, some people say you don't need it. I say you do. You need those kind of people in your life, because sometimes you could be feeling down in the dumps, and then one of those cheerleaders of yours come across and cross you and be like, hold on, what's going on? They see that countenance on your face a little bit. What's going on? What you doing? How you feeling? And then they pull out them pom-poms and they start doing that dance. And I'm saying it jokingly, but they reassure you with their words. And like I said earlier on in the program, words have the ability to cause life and death. You can kill somebody with kindness, or you can kill somebody with hatred. And why do they say those things? Because words are really very powerful. People put it like, oh, they're not that. No, words are really powerful, because most of the time when you say something to somebody and it's negative, 20 years from down the line, some people still can remember exactly what you said. Some people can actually remember the day and the time. Another thing, or another way you can know if somebody is really there for you, they should want you to fulfill your dreams and aspirations.
Right.
Like Wifey was saying earlier, you have those people that are kind of like dream killers. If you have somebody that's around you and you always trying to say, I need to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, and they trying to put you down and they trying to shut down your dreams, that's somebody you need to take heed to. But let me flip it a little. Wifey tells me certain things, and this is tied into us. Wifey tells me certain things, and I'm like the person that I'm the okay or nay dude.
Yeah.
So she'll be like, well, this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And I'll be like, sometimes she don't even want to hear all the stuff I'm going to come up with. I'm going to come up with, well, why is this, that? Why you ain't getting paid? Why are they doing this? Oh, if you supposed to be this, why this ain't happening? I'm that person. So basically, she don't want me to say that all the time. So I'll just be like, nah, babe, maybe you need to pass on that. Or maybe you need to look at it from this angle. And I'm not trying to kill her dreams. I'm just trying to be on point, because I might see stuff that she doesn't see. Because sometimes we look at stuff from different angles.
Yes, we do.
Another way that you will know if someone is really for you, if they're not pretending. We have those people that pop up that are pretenders, and you have to watch out for those. If you have that feeling inside, that knowing feeling that when you talk to somebody, it feels like it's fake, that may not be the person that's for you. Right. Or if you have that feeling like that you're not at ease being alone, I'm talking about relationships now. You meet a guy or you meet a female and you go to their house and you may feel a little uneasy. I call it, baby say antennas, I call it spidey senses. That's your spidey senses telling you that you may not need to be around that person. Mm-hmm. Or it may be a person that you may have been cool with in the past, and then all of a sudden you don't hear from them, or, you're not really saying too much to them. You have to keep in mind that when seasons change, people change as well.
Right.
And it doesn't necessarily mean that they did anything wrong to you or you did anything wrong to them. Maybe their time was up in your life in that particular time.
Right.
So keep that in mind as well.
Yeah. And I put that on Facebook. Today it says when God changed your season, your circle is going to change. Your circle of people that you're around is going to change, because we have to understand, in order for us to get to the next place, God is going to put another person that you never met in your life, and then you be like, well, God done put this person here, and that's where I was trying to go. And you excited that God has put this person in your life. And me, I get excited when people come into life. Listen, you are automatic friend, sister friend. I love you. But then I have to be careful. Sometimes God said, listen, this person I'm putting here so that you can get to the next place, but don't hold on too tight. Because sometimes people are they like Velcro. They want to stick to you, and you my friend to the end, and you got to tell me where you going, where you been, how you doing it, and who you doing it for. And it has nothing to do with none of that. It's about getting to the next place, so the next soul and the next person can get what they need to get from you, because you are the healed, delivered, and set free. So they need to get from you what you've been healed and delivered from. So that, and I want to say this too. John 15:12 says, this is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. That's hard, because people's like, I don't believe that there's no God. I don't, like I said a couple of shows back, people have put a curse word in front of love, and they just like, I don't care about love. Love hurts. Love this. Love that. Love is pain, all this kind of stuff. That but love. In my Bible, as my grandmother say, love is patient. Love is kind. 1 Corinthians 13. Love it does not envy. I'm going to say love is marvelous. It doesn't envy. It does not boast. It isn't proud. It isn't rude. It's not none of that. So I just think that, a lot of people, some people just don't know how to love because they hurt. They say hurt people, so they don't know how to love. And then you have some people that, like we were talking about, the comrades, or what we call associates, or whoever, however you call them. In Texas, we call them marks, because they may not be real. So you gotta, like,
pretenders.
they're great pretenders. So I'm listen, I'm gonna say it like this. I'm grateful for all different types of people coming into my life because it's gonna teach me how to stay aware and be that watchman.
No doubt.
You know, I'm not gonna tear you down, and because some people, I'm not gonna lie. Ain't no sense in me sitting up here sugarcoat. Some people get underneath my toenail for real. They irk me.
Like me.
Like they get on my everlasting for real, for real. You know, like if my sister called, I have several sisters that call me, and we check on each other and we love on each other. It's genuine love there. It's not nobody calling. Well, after we get off the prayer line, girl, did you hear what so and so said? I'm that girl. I'm gonna call everybody on the 4-way, 5-way and say, listen, I think she got a problem with you. I think you need to go to your brother in love, as the Bible say. It's if you got art with your brother, go to him in love and y'all fix it now. Cause so don't come to me with your issues. But if you got an issue, as my grandmother say, an issue with me, it's you, first of all. If you have an issue with me, come to me and talk to me in love.
Yep.
And settle that thing with me. Don't go to my husband and everybody, Kenny Boo and all them folks. Just come to me and talk to me. And we can talk about it. And I'll talk to you in love. Now, like I said, I've had situations that pop up out the blue. And I ain't have, my full armor on, see. I had my fleshly armor on, and then I may come for you in the wrong way at the wrong time because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do, what God says do. Put on your full armor. I didn't have it on. I ain't have a chance to go and sit before the Lord that morning, and this person called, and they had an issue with me for a whole year and 6 months. I was like, well, God, you waited that long? You let that sit in you, rot in your soul for that long, and then you come to me. And I didn't have an issue with this person at all. Like, no issue. But this person had an issue with me, and they was trying to get me to see where I went wrong at. No, sis, it's you that's battling in your flesh and what you was going through. I'm not going to tear you down and put you down, but however, since you on the phone, how you doing? And let me tell you how I feel about this situation. I'm going to calm my nerves down. I'm going to get myself together because I'm not going to bless you and curse you at the same time because that's easy to do. I'm not going to do that.
That's true. You know what? And it's funny, me just listening to Babe, and I always say it's funny. She always says, I'm saying it's funny. But it's funny that, and I'm saying it again, but it's something that I pay attention to. People treat you the way that you let them treat you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You always have an option. Just because you having a difficult issue with somebody like Wifey was just talking about, doesn't mean that it has to go in a bad way. Or it doesn't have to go down a bad lane. The best thing to do is, open dialogue, communicate, talk about the, whatever you're going through or whatever the problem may be and keep it moving. Don't allow people to just disrespect you just for no reason,
I think that's hard for people. Because I do have a big heart. And I had a season where I was a people pleaser. I don't care what you did to me. I'm going to still be like, well, what you need? But now, it's a new day, a new dawn, a new day. I'm telling you, I am different. I'm not that person anymore because when I have a problem with someone, I can go to you and talk to you about it without beating around the bush or feeling some type of way that I'm going to hurt your feelings.
And you should be able to do that.
Feelings is fickle. I mean, we go through them. We have emotions and feelings and stuff that we go through. Yeah, we women, we do. But I'm just saying, definitely. I'm out of that season where I'm trying to please you because I don't want to hurt your feelings. Because a lot of times people was like, well, I felt so offended. Y'all get with the program. Offenses will come, but it's how you handle it. It's how you handle it.
And if it's really a true friendship, it could be mended.
Right.
If it's meant to be mended. Some stuff isn't meant to be mended. So like Wifey was saying earlier, treat people, like you would want to be treated. That's a very important thing. And keep in mind that the relationships that you have with others determine your success. Wifey was talking about doing things with other people. If you treat people in a negative manner and people continue to see that in the workplace or out in the world, a lot of people aren't going to want to deal with you. Even if they see you could make a lot of money, or even if they see that you could be going a particular direction that they want to go, but if you have that bad attitude and you're treating people less than and looking down on them, they're going to be like, I don't care how much money they could give me. I don't want to deal with that person. So that's something else to keep in mind. And some of the things that you could do to make people treat you better and for you to be able to treat better, like I said, it's about both. It's about us and it's about treating people better as well. Some of the things you can do, the first thing, like Wifey was just saying, I'm just going to put it in another way, honor people. Mm-hmm. Respect people's opinions. And honoring people means, I'm going to keep it simple as possible. Don't disrespect people. It also could mean to uphold people at a different, a particular level.
Yeah, don't put nobody on no pedestal.
Yeah, I'm just
that.
saying,
that's
don't disrespect them.
Don't make them no gods.
Basically, that's it. Treat people as if they could be like where they're at. Treat people like you want them to be or where you think they can be, because that could help them actually go in the direction that they want to go. So if you tell somebody that you're a queen, or you tell somebody that they're a king, they may be at a level lower than what you're telling them they are at that particular time. But if you consistently motivate them, be a form of motivation, if you consistently motivate them and you tell them, like, look, my brother, you a king, it could be the guy standing on the corner. You keep telling them that over and over and over again, it starts to make him look at himself in a different light, even if he's looking at himself negatively, because he's probably going to start figuring out, why does this woman call me a king every day? Why does this guy call me or if there's a guy talking to a woman, why is he always calling me a queen every day? And then they'll be like, well, maybe I am a queen. You'd be surprised, and I'm tapping it back into the wordplay. You'd be surprised what you say to somebody, how it can affect them in the long run.
I want to say something about that. I think a lot of times, behind closed doors, and when I mean that, I mean the doors, the behind the closed doors of our chest plate, our heart. We may put ourselves down, and I'm going to go back to the pretenders, and you can go out and you can uplift somebody until God come back. Until Jesus come back, and you just be like, oh, you saw this and you saw that, and you don't have that same level of lifting yourself up or encouraging yourself that you give to somebody else. It's not real, because you have to be careful what you plant in someone else and what you say to someone else, because if you don't look at yourself that way, and you so good at lifting everybody else up, and you know that you need some help encouraging yourself or getting to the place that where you want to be, or where you see yourself, we have to be careful with that, because a lot of times we look so down on ourselves, and everybody else in the world, you girl, your hair is so pretty, girl, you so this, and you just left the house and said, I'm so sick of this, I'm gonna cut this mess off, I can't stand myself, I hate myself, I'm fat, oh, I can't, and then I don't know, I used to struggle with that. That's why I'm saying that.
Now look, I'm gonna hit you with the flip side of that. Think of every prophet you can think of. We're going to leave Jesus out. But think of every prophet you can think of, and how did they feel about themselves before God spoke to them?
Yeah,
think about that. Think about that. Think of every story of a prophet that you can think of. How were they before?
Well,
how was Moses?
He wasn't the little idiot that could. I stutter. I can't go.
and it's across different religions, because 3 different religions.
Jeremiah, I'm too young.
People, and I know it's people from different religions that listen to us. So think about that. So I was just trying to say, because most of them thought of themselves in a negative light, and was doing negative stuff, and was doing all kinds of negative stuff. Every prophet I could think of. Maybe not Jesus, if you want to leave him out. But I'm going to just say almost Moses, all of them down the line. So I just wanted to flip that a little bit. But, and be a good listener. Engage, in dialogue. Like me and Babes, we could go back and forth. I may say something she don't agree with. She may say something I don't agree with. But we keep it dialogue. You know what I mean? We go back and forth. I let her express her opinion, because she's ministry. I'm motivation. That's our subtitle. This is Divine and Ira Warren As1. She's ministry, I'm motivation. So we come at from the different angles. So she may hit you with something, and that may be what people need to hear from that angle. I might say something, and it may be something that people need to hear from that angle. So, engage. Talk about other people's interests, not just yours.
Yeah.
A lot of people, now when I say just sit, I don't mean just sit there and talk about yourself for an hour and let them talk for 5 minutes. You have to go back and forth. Dialogue is a going back and forth. It's not one person being dominant and the other person gets a minute to speak. And you'd be surprised what you learn about people just from general convo. Just from open dialogue. You can see how honest a person is. You could get a grasp of their personality, things they like, just from general convo. You know, sometimes we have to step outside our comfort zone and make other people feel better about themselves. That's the motivation side of me. Make other people feel better about themselves. I'm one of them people, like, when I talk to people, a lot of people be like, when they talk to me about certain stuff, they be like, well, I feel better now than I did prior to talking to you. And that's part of what I think, you know, my gift is. And, you know, like I said, I think it's part of what Wifey's gift is as well. You know, and that's why we do radio show. That's why we go live. But another thing, there's a couple, I have a lot of things. But watch what you say. Like I said earlier, it's life and death in words. Say what you have to say, but say it respectfully. Like, if you're in a relationship, you don't have to always argue when it comes to something that y'all don't disagree with. It doesn't have to turn into a combative state. It doesn't have to be a back and forth. I know I mentioned dialogue, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be a back and forth in a negative manner, because that's not going to help you, and it's not going to help the relationship as a whole.
Yeah, because I know when I first moved here, Shondo Heat, y'all. It's hard. It was hard for me to be in a space. You know, here it is. I'm freshly married. I'm with this guy, and you know, so when you long distance and you're talking on the phone, things is different. Things is not the same. So you be like, oh, he's so nice, he's so dreamy, until you get married and then you live with him and then you learn who he really is. Because the vibe can get on my nerves, y'all, but I let him get on my nerves.
Yeah.
I let him get on my nerves.
Nobody can get on your nerves unless you allow him to.
But I just say, you know what? This is just who he is. You know, I can't, you know, change him and make him be what I want him to be. This is Divine Warren. This is who he is. Yes. He's not disrespectful towards me. Nope. He ain't slapping me upside the head. He makes sure he don't curse at me. He makes sure that my needs and all that is met. And I said, boy, shut up. Like, y'all come get him.
Here, I was like this. I was just tapping you on your back earlier. What are you talking about?
You so silly.
I said, not that way. I was just like this. This is when I was going like this.
You so silly. Whatever. See, he made me lose my train of thought.
I don't treat you wrong.
He doesn't.
But, I'm not disrespectful.
But Divine, he's the type of person, he is that book person. He reads a ton of books. And he know that he know that he know. He reads the word too. So let me put that at that. He reads everything. So right now he's reading all these John Maxwell books. Yeah, he's really really good anyway. But I'm just saying, it's when you're learning someone, you can't put them down and tell them, well, you ain't this and you ain't that. That's not right. You just trying to run me. No, this is just who he is. So we can agree to disagree, like he said. But when I have a thought or something, it's a little bit different. He may say, no, I think you need to really be watchful, babe. You so nice. You come up here and people know that you have this nice hospitality. You just give, and you love. He said, you got to be careful with that. Because people, they hone on that. And girl, it's going to be hard for them to let you go because you like that.
And they'll take advantage of it. They'll take your kindness for a weakness.
He said, you are so nice. Because he said, somebody called Ira is out that bed, shower, shave, shine, and out the door to take care of somebody else's needs. And he was like, you have to understand, would these people do that for you? Would they take care of you like that? And I just was like, I don't know. And then I come up with all the excuses in the world. Well, you know, they don't have a car. They don't have da-da-da. And he'll look at me like, Ira, come on now. You can't, you know, you gotta discern a little bit of that. You can't just do. And I'm a doer. I love to serve. I love to give myself away. That's just who I am, to be for real. That's just me.
And don't keep running for people who ain't running for you.
I'm running for the president.
Look, you be in the marathon by yourself, looking back, wondering why you don't
pass the baton.
You the only
Come
one
on,
there with the baton. Look, you the only one, ain't no others with no baton. With that. Look, you be the only one there. But now, like, look, Wifey was just talking about how I am as a person, and I'm not saying anything wrong about what she said, but when you tell people that they are wrong or they act a particular way, you are actually attacking their ego. And most people, when their ego is attacked, they're going to come back at you defensively. They may hear you after the fact. They may hear you after the fact, but from the door, they're going to be like, oh, okay, so what you trying to say, or what, it's going to be combative. So sometimes it ties back into, watching what we say, and if somebody is treating you in a, like in a mean way, or they're being disrespectful, distance yourself from those people. Just distance yourself. You don't have to stand there and take, what somebody is giving you. That's a choice. You make a choice to stand there. You don't have to stay stuck listening to somebody telling you something stupid. And Wifey said it earlier. Distance yourself from toxic people. And toxicity could come in a number of different ways. And you just have to be mindful, be aware. Like Wifey was saying, that I tell her, be mindful and be aware of the people that you play around with. Because if you play in the same play field, or you play in the same ballpark with somebody, and I'm not talking about an actual ballpark or actual play field, but if you hang around particular people, you start picking up some of their traits, their characteristics and all that. But at the same time, they start learning stuff about you, and they can use that to their advantage. You know what I mean? Especially if you're one of them people that open up and tell people a lot about yourself and, how you feel and what you're doing. Listen, some people, you'll tell people about your relationship, they'll flip it, and you may be saying something little that's taking place in your relationship. They'll flip it and make a molehill into a mountain and a building on top of the mountain. You know what I mean? And you might not even been asking them for their opinion. You might have just been sharing something with them, and then they just make it turn into something totally different. So watch who you tell your business to as well. Don't always look outside yourself for affirmation. Wifey said that earlier. And that's very important, because a lot of people do that. And a lot of people tend to do that on social media. They do it other places as well. But when you keep putting yourself out there and people start to pick up on that, like I said earlier, they'll tell you what they think you want to hear to get what they could get from you. Remember, you have control over how people, you have control over how people feel and how they respond to you.
Right.
And the reason why I say that is because if you're feeling a particular way, people can pick up on that, and then they treat you accordingly. So if you're feeling like you're in a bad space, you're feeling negative or all that, they may treat you that way. And then you can't be mad at them, because that's what Wifey was talking about, projection earlier. You projecting that on others, so they pick that up and they treat you that way. In your mind, you may feel like you're feeling good, but your whole demeanor is saying that you're down, and then people will be like those, fake people, those frenemy type of people. They'll be like, yeah, girl, you shouldn't be looking like that. You shouldn't be feeling that way because of him. Or, yo, dude, why you gonna allow her to treat you like that? And they'll be doing it just because. Not really to help you. They're actually just trying to tear you down, but in a different way. And another thing I'm going to say real quick, and I'm going to bounce it back to Wifey. Alleviate your fears. Try to keep your fear under control, because people can pick up on that. They can pinpoint when somebody is fearful. Especially in relationship situations and in work situations. But in relationship situations, try to control your fear. Remember, fear is false expectations appearing real. So most of the time, people are fearful of things that didn't even occur yet.
Yeah, haven't even
So
happened.
now, if you have that God of your understanding in your life, and if you believe, like I believe, that God is within you, then why are you so fearful of stuff? So that means that you're either one or two things. You're putting a limitation on what you think God can do, or you don't feel, or your faith may not be as strong as you saying that it is.
Well, y'all.
I'm not finished yet. I still got more.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh no,
go ahead.
Okay. Let me just say this. This is another quote. People can be mean. Don't take it personal. It says something about you, but it says a lot about them. Your actions come across to other people.
Shut up.
You know what I mean? And then they start to see you for what you really are and who you really are. Keep them. They may have been a stepping stone, like Wifey said earlier, there to give you knowledge or understanding of something at that particular time that could have got, that could get you to another level or get you to somewhere else you want to be in life. You know, so never discount anybody who comes in your life. Some people come in for good, some people come in for bad, some people come in for direction, some people come in to make you sad. But don't discount it, because you could use it all as a learning experience and a tool so that you can move further in life. Remain teachable. Mm-hmm. These are things that you can do to treat yourself better, and it will also help you be able to treat other people better. Appreciate the people who have been there for you.
Yes.
You know, like I said, wifey is ministry, I'm motivation. So what we tend to do, both of us, we help people. Be a blessing to others. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not always just about you. And if you have been through, the sister that was on here earlier, my wife, Zarina, they have all been through things in their life, and some of them are similar situations. And through all of them, and when I hear people and I hear them share their stories, what I tend to notice is that they had the ability to forgive. And that's very important.
Yes.
If somebody has done something wrong to you, be able to forgive them. It doesn't mean that you have to be buddy-buddy and y'all have to swing the pom-poms together like y'all cheerleaders for each other. Mm-hmm. No. But just keep in mind that people are people and we are all fallible. And you never know if... See, I was going to name a family member of mine, but I really don't want to go into that right now. But what I was going to say, I had an issue with one of my family members. I'm not going to say no name, not going to say who it is, due to particular things that took place and just a lot of stuff. You know, we had a big argument some years back, and I forgave the particular person. I don't forgive. I'm one of them people, I never forgive. I mean, not I forgave her. I meant to say I didn't forget. But with all that being said, I still love the particular person. You know, I know that people are going to be people sometimes. And then I have to keep in mind how I can be. So I can't really be super judgmental towards somebody else doing negative, all the negative I've done in my life. You know what I mean? So that's something that I had to keep in mind as well. So the ability to forgive others will allow you to heal yourself and be able to treat people better than you probably would have already treated them, or better than you probably thought you could, especially the people who have done you wrong, you know, and have trespassed against you in the past.
And lead us not into temptation. Yep. No, I'm just saying. Yeah, okay, I'm going to end it with this. If anyone says, I love God and hates his brother, he is a liar. For he who does not love his brother, whom he's seen, and cannot love God, whom he's never seen, it's a problem. So y'all, let's love it covers a multitude of sin. It covers a lot of stuff, and we need to learn how to love yourself, so you can know how to love someone else, and you know, treat yourself good, do self-care, go somewhere and sit right, whatever your self-care is. That's going to get your mind right, so that you can be right with others. Then it will be well within your soul. So y'all, this ends our show tonight. This was a blessing for me because I needed to hear this. And I thank you guys for just tuning in with us every Wednesday from 9:30 to 10:30. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all coming on tonight and supporting us. Give us some thumbs up if y'all heard the majority of it, because I know the phone kept turning off.
Yeah,
but
sorry about the phone cutting off and
we
stuff.
just thank y'all for coming on tonight.
And ask some questions. You know, you can leave questions.
Yeah, leave some questions.
And you can find us. You can find me at Divine Warren on Facebook, and What Divine Thinks on Instagram. And you can find Wifey on Ira Warren on Facebook. And what is it, Ira Warren on Instagram as well. And we also have a group on Facebook called Friends Who Like Divine and Ira Warren As1.
Yes.
And, you know, that's just some of the places that you can find us. And I wasn't trying to cut Wifey off or anything, but we need to let people know where you can find us, because people, like I said last week, they ask about that all the time. And as we close out,
my name. My name is Ira Warren.
My name is Ira Warren. Oh, no. My name is Divine Warren. And together we are as one.
Good night, y'all. This was somebody's name, Ira Warren.
Bye, Ira.
Bye.